Hey everybody, my name is Brandon Levine, and welcome to today's video on working with content fragments within Adobe Experience Manager. So before we get into working with content fragments, what are content fragments? They are essentially created and managed as page-independent assets, which allows us to use them in multiple locations over multiple channels, and we can do that by exporting these fragments in JSON format, so it gives us a lot of flexibility. These are slightly different from experience fragments, if you've heard of them. And if you haven't heard of an experience fragment, it is essentially a set of content that grouped together forms an experience that should make sense on its own. So essentially, an experience fragment is ready to be published once we link it to the page it's on. Whereas content fragments are really not ready to be published. We still have to do some additional work with them, but it gives us a lot more flexibility in terms of where this fragment is going to end up. So how do we make a content fragment? Well, we're going to go to our Assets tab. We're going to go into our files, and then I'm going to navigate to the folder I want to create it under. Once I'm in my folder, I'm going to click on Create and then Content Fragment. From here, I'm just going to choose maybe a simple fragment. Next, and I'm going to give it a title. I'm just going to call it YouTube Test or YouTube Content Fragment. Be a little bit more descriptive. Under Advanced, I'm not going to change that, so I'm going to click on Create. Great. So I'm loaded into my content fragment. From here, I can actually load in my text. So a good separation, I guess, of duties when it comes to using this in a real world scenario. Maybe your organization has writers, and those writers can type out the article or any other text they want to include in their content fragment within this browser mode, and then whoever is going to be working on the actual page it ends up on, they would be able to use this content fragment for pushing out in an article format or whatever method they want. So I'm going to paste in some sample text, and now our content fragment is basically ready to go. I just have some more Ipsum text I added in here, and as we can see, we can do some rich text editing. If I go into full screen mode, we can do rich text, so we can do quite a bit in terms of modifying the actual content of this content fragment. But I'm going to leave all that alone. I'm not going to really get into adding hyperlinks or bullet points or what have you to this content fragment. All I'm going to do is click on Save, and then my content fragment is ready to go. Now I'm going to take a look at how we can actually link this content fragment to an Adobe Experience Manager Sites page. So I'm going to load my page. I'm just going to quickly refresh it. And on this page, I have already added in the content fragment component, which is going to be required on an Adobe Experience Manager page. So that'll be under your Components tab. And you can simply just drag over this content fragment component to your page. Now to link this that content fragment we just created, I'm going to click on Content Fragment, click on Configure, and now I'm going to select this check mark to find in our content fragment. I should be able to search it. I believe I call it YouTube Content Fragment. And now I can load it in directly from here. I could also search through that hierarchy to find it. If I want to go through all these different folders, the folder specifically to find it, I could do that as well. So we do have a few different options available, but I'm just going to go ahead and type it again. We'll select that and click on Select. Now for display mode, I'm going to keep it as single text element. This allows me to add in pictures and whatnot in between the paragraphs. The element I'm going to select as main. And if we wanted to, we could have created a variation of that content fragment, I didn't. So we only have one option available, but we can easily create multiple variations of this fragment. And I'll save that. And now we have loaded in our content fragment. As you can see, it's separated by basically paragraphs and the titles. So now I could make this a bit more visually appealing. I could go drag a image container onto my page. I could drag a image on it. Just go select the first one available. And now I can include some pictures in between the paragraphs just to maybe support whatever text we have in here. So if I go to preview, we can see we have loaded our content fragment, and now we have some pictures also included in there. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a like, please subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions. And yeah, have a great day. Bye.